What you are witnessing is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in an underworld municipal court. Both parties have agreed to dismiss their court cases and have their disputes settled here in our forum, the Prinny's Court. The questionably honorable Edna presiding.
Go Prinnies! Woo!
It's episode 13 of PrinnyCast for December 8, 2012. I'm Chris, and I'm here with my buddies, Mike.
Hello.
And Grover.
Hello.
And we're here to discuss what we usually discuss. Things about video games from all aspects of things about video games. And special thanks to our buddies over there at longplays.org for all their help getting all these videos that we use on our show. And I'm getting my scratchy throat going for some odd reason, so I may sound a little strange throughout this cast. And to galaxypugs.com, who host Minecraft and Unreal and all sorts of other great games that you can go over there and play along with them. And also, it's the home of the PrinnyCast forum, so go say hi. And then don't forget to head over to Grover's channel for all of his Game of the Week footage. He's interspersing lately. I've seen some Minecraft sneaking in there this week.
We also now have a PrinnyCast community on Steam, so go check that out as well. That'll be in the links.
Okay, so what have we been playing this week? How about you, Mike?
I've been playing World of Warcraft and Assassin's Creed 2. And Assassin's Creed 2 is still pretty fun. It's taking me a long time to get through the game because I'm kind of a completionist. So I have to find every single tower and sync up with it. And I do all of the little side missions. And I'm not sure, but I don't think that the assassination, the little hitman quests, I don't think they ever really end. It doesn't seem like they do. So I've done quite a number of them, and I keep getting more, so...
Are they repeated?
But, no, they're not. They haven't repeated yet. They're just the same kinds of quests. This group of guards was conspiring against me. Go get them. And then, several times later, he points you to a different group of guards. So I kind of think that they loop so that it's not the exact same group, but it's the same kind. So I don't know if they just ran out of ideas and
It's still a great way to do that.
Yeah, it's not a bad game. It's a lot of fun, Assassin's Creed 2. And I've upgraded my village all the way, so... all of the money that I get in the game pretty much is just for me. But other than that, I haven't really played much. I played Burrito Bison on the iPhone, and I beat that because I didn't actually beat it on Congregate when I originally played it. But I did beat it on an iPhone. It starts out really, really painfully slow.
All those launcher games do. It's all about struggling to get to the highest point.
Yeah.
Max out your stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, though, after that, once you're able to get to... I've only managed to get through the wall at the very end once. I've replayed the game a number of times, and I got to the wall, but I was smashed against it. There's an Adventure Time one, also, that Cartoon Network did. It's called Jumping Fin Turbo, and I beat that a couple weeks ago, which I forgot to mention last week because I didn't play it very long. It doesn't take as long as Burrito Bison to get through. Other than, the normal WoW, I really haven't been playing too much this week. I've been reading The Hobbit is what I've been doing.
Getting ready for the movie.
Oh, boy.
Yep. I'm looking forward to it.
So about you, Grover?
Well, I've been playing a lot of Faster Than Light since that's the game of the week. I'm having a blast with that. You've seen me. So far, I've won once. All the other times have either just been miserable failures, and in one episode, I got to the very end, and the last version of the mothership annihilated me. Just within 30 seconds, I went from full hull to dead. So it was just like, wow. I'm playing Minecraft, a modded version, the Feed the Beast stuff. I'm also doing a Let's Play on that, so that's fun. Let's Plays are interesting, so now I get to do Let's Play Wiz the Game of the Week. I also went on Those Gentlemen Gamers and did a broadcast with them, and I played PlanetSide 2, which is just a kill fest, utter kill fest, and doing some hilarious galaxy ship maneuvers, doing loop-de-loops and trying to kill my teammates. I also played League of Legends with them and just did terrible. I suck at that game.
Everybody sucks at that game at first.
Yeah, the beginning bots were kicking my ass, so it was pretty humorous. And I was also playing Tribes Ascend. I didn't even fight people in that game, but it's like skiing around and seeing how fast I can go. But no, that's... it is not on the list. I also played some Binding of Isaac, so I didn't play very much, though. I think I played for like an hour, and I don't know why I stopped, because I didn't even die, I just quit playing. Maybe I had to do something, but yeah. And that's it for me. That's all the games I played.
Well, for me, this is probably one of the busiest weeks I've had in a long time for playing video games. Congregate's updated pretty close to twice in this week period. I've been still playing my Christmas games of Binding of Isaac and Batman Arkham City, so quite a bit of that. I at least put in a couple more hours apiece, I think. Minecraft's gotten a lot of time, both because I'm still working on the Island Nation, and also because Rover got me started on Feed the Beast, which I'm nowhere near as getting as complicated with the machinery yet. I'm mostly just getting used to the whole aspect of tapping rubber trees and finding all these odd minerals that they've added to the game.
Feed the Beast dramatically adds on to that game. It's just, I've been playing 60 hours and I haven't even begun.
And it's largely because it's a combination of like 35 different mods. Now, some of them are really small mods that you just barely notice, but others are...
Industrial craft.
Yeah, they make a huge difference. And then I also bought a thing off of Steam, and I shouldn't have done it. I really didn't have the money for it. I'm supposed to be buying Christmas presents for people, and I have been. I've been keeping up with that. But I got the Polish bundle that they had earlier in the week. Some of them are indie games, some of them aren't. It was like Call of Juarez and Two Worlds 2 and Anomaly Warzone Earth and Zombie Driver HT. So I've been playing the ones that I've gotten downloaded so far. And none of them are outright spectacular, but considering I only paid about $3 to $4 a piece between them all because of the bundle, they've been worth that. It's a little more than a rental, and I've gotten entire games for it. So, And I've even been peeking back in on Second Life often here and there. There hasn't exactly been anything to keep me there yet, but I've still got a few friends that hang out there, and I've been trying to catch up with them and see what's going on. Found me a bunch of freebies. So yeah. So game news! I try to always say that's strange, and it always comes out about the same. Game news! Gomnos. So, first of all, as part of Steam's moving PC gamers into the living room, as mentioned during their whole controller leak thing, they've reformatted Steam to run on big screen TVs, complete with all the features and controls gamers have come to appreciate on the PC version of Stream, or Macintosh as the case may be. You just hook up your PC or your laptop to a TV, click the new big picture button, and bam! And the launch for the new system has also included sales off of controller-compatible Steam games until Monday, December 10th. So if you're watching this on our upload day, you might have a few hours left to get in on it if you haven't already.
If you update Steam to beta right now, as of when I'm saying this right now, you will be allowed to put your games on multiple drives instead of just in the Steam folder. Now, for people that use multiple folders, and I like some games for my SSD. Some games do not require the SSD at all. That is amazing, which means I can throw all the non-SSD games into my new hard drive that has like 500 gigabytes of storage just for that. And yeah, and then I can save room in my SSD for more important games.
And that is a fantastic idea. I didn't even notice they were doing that or that it was locked down like that because I've been using my external 2 terabyte drive for so long for Steam games. I just didn't think about it. But yeah, I could see where that would be a big bonus. So Zynga, we have to talk about you. It's a small story, but still, they returned to the news as they filed for a gambling license from the Nevada Gaming Control Board. So while this may not mean anything particular in the United States anytime soon, because this is kind of a lengthy process at times, especially considering that online gaming is a real kind of touchy subject in the States more often than not, they have partnered with the British online gambling group bwin.party to start up their games over there. And a small mention that the Star Trek Into Darkness trailer, the sequel to J.J. Abrams' Star Trek reboot, the trailer came out over the weekend. I think it's safe to say, Con! Total War series developer Creative Assembly, and a subsidiary of Sega in the recent years, has picked up the license to make the Warhammer games, since THQ may not be for much longer. So this may bring a new era for RTS lovers, as the insinuation is to put my words are there, but they're sounding weird, is to put the Warhammer universe into the Total War gaming engine. So that could be very interesting. PS3 is still waiting on the 2 expansions from Skyrim that's already been released for everyone else. And recently Bethesda has spoken that they have all their attention focused only on Dragonborn DLC for Skyrim, before returning to fixing the issues with Heartfire and Dawnguard for the PS3. Additionally, Xbox 360 owners will get Dragonborn, which was released at least a month earlier than the PS3 and PC versions, thanks to an exclusivity deal with Microsoft.
Lame, but whatever. I wanted
That's
it.
bees.
I think it's weird they call it DLC because
Banana.
from the way it looks, it's definitely not DLC. It is an expansion pack.
But it's a downloadable expansion pack.
That is true, I guess.
Speaking of delays, Pikmin 3 is getting itself pushed back to the second quarter of 2013, despite being scheduled to be released somewhere in the first 5 months of the Wii U's launch. No reasoning at present has been given. And also, the long-awaited Bioshock Infinite has been delayed again, but this time it's just a month later, so you're not going to be waiting too much longer, as it's slated now for March 26, 2013, as opposed to the February 26th it had before.
I'll give you some extra time to pay off the super expensive Songbird edition.
And the latest Minecraft snapshot released today on the 8th, including nether brick slabs, the ability to place items on interactive bricks by using your shift key, enchantable books so you can store enchantments for later use, and the big addition of customizable fireworks. And in related news, the Swedish developer 13th Lab has created an app called Minecraft Reality that uses a point cloud SDK that tracks the space around you using a camera, and then inserts uploaded Minecraft designs that you or others have built and put onto the site into that space. I think the video we're going to be putting here is going to say it a lot better than I could explain it, but it reminds me a lot of some of the earlier 3DS games, that like that box game that I can't remember. 3DS is how you see the image inside the game.
Oh, yeah.
It's in the real world, so yeah. Anyway, it's a nifty little toy app, and I believe it's only a couple bucks, so if you're interested, you can check that out.
You were talking about the AR card reader, aren't you?
Yeah.
Augmented reality? Okay, yeah. I played with that a little bit, but not too much.
It's more of a toy than it is a game, really, but...
Yeah,
So-
it's kind of nifty, though.
Mike Capps has retired from Epic Games as its president in an announcement on his blog, stating that he wants to be a stay-at-home dad for a while. This follows hot on the heels of Golden Boy figurehead Cliff Bleszinski leaving back in October, and thus Mr. Capps joins a long list of CEO and game designers who have left their companies and sometimes the entire industry this year. It's been like a flock of these people.
I know, it's just like a
Yeah.
bandit ship.
It's almost like each week there's some big name, whether you know them or not, you know their company, and they're leaving.
Do they know something we don't? Is the industry getting ready to crash again?
And that's a great segue into this. To no real surprise, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 sales have continued the trend of its predecessors, raking up now $1 billion in 15 days according to Activision, which is a day faster than Modern Warfare 3's launch and 2 days faster than James Cameron's biggest blockbuster of Avatar. The statement went on to say that its 7.5 million copies of the US alone has been sold in the same period, and the gamers have played a total of 150 million hours since its launch on Xbox Live and PSN to that date. And that the
God.
Call of Duty series has broken the world box office revenues of Harry Potter and of Star Wars franchises, that is. All this being said, though, it is a common and growing reception that the Call of Duty games are losing steam faster than they used to. So, I don't know, I kind of expected this one to actually sell fewer because of how many people were naysaying about the last one. And yet,
I did too.
it sold even bigger.
Probably the same people that were naysaying are the ones that bought it.
More than likely. That's what happens to Halo a lot of times. People complain about,
Yeah.
oh, this is the worst Halo ever, and they buy the next one.
I bought one Call of Duty, and that was enough.
Sonic fans are notorious for that. They hate
Oh,
they're
gosh,
doing the
yes.
Sonic, but they're so hopeful they keep coming back. And sometimes they've been rewarded. Sonic Generations was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one.
And I predicted this. I said it would happen. The Humble THQ bundle has added Red Faction Armageddon's DLC, Path to War, as well as the fantastic Diablo 2-style action RPG Titan Quest to its list. This may not be the end. Sometimes they throw just one or two more, and I kind of expect it to be the Titan Quest expansion pack, to be honest. But if you haven't already picked that up, what are you waiting for? There's a ton of great games on that for next to nothing. Also,
I got it.
Austin Wintory, composer of the PS3 exclusive Journey, received a nomination for Best Score Soundtrack for Visual Media at the Grammys. This is the first time a true video game soundtrack has been nominated before. The soundtrack is up against some stiff competition, however, in the forms of John Williams for The Adventures of Tintin, Ludovic Bors for The Artist, Hans Zimmer for The Dark Knight Rises, Howard Shore for Hugo, Trenton Reznor and Atticus Ross for The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. However, this is not to say this is the first time a game music has been at the Grammys, as last year Christopher Tin's Civilization 4 opening, Baba Yetu, won an award, but ironically for its album release, not because it was in the game. So that's why this is even more impressive than even that was. Time magazine has listed its top 10 list of new games for the year with some potentially surprising results. Number 10, Torchlight 2. Number 9, Halo 4. Number 8, Little Big Planet for the Vita. Number 7, The Last Story. Number 6, Papa and Yo. Number 5, Assassin's Creed 3. Number 4, Dishonored. Number 3, XCOM Enemy Unknown. Number 2, Xenoblade Chronicles. And number 1, drumroll, Guild Wars 2.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Keep in mind, this is Time Magazine. These are not exactly
Yeah.
people that know video games. But
Yeah.
it's still a major magazine. So do you guys have any news for us?
I have news. My first thing is, being an asshole as a video gamer doesn't pay off. And it really doesn't pay off if you're doing competitive playing. This is what happened to one of the professional League of Legends players, Christian I Will Dominate Rivera, has been permanently banned for toxic behavior and suspended from playing in the Champion Series for a year. He has been noted 8 or 9 times already for, just being a bastard, and holds a persistent record of in-game harassment, verbal abuse, offensive language, and negative attitude. In addition to the 1-year suspension for playing in this Champion Series, every single other account that they know that he has been banned permanently. So, yeah.
Wow.
The people that make League of Legends, Riot, is it Riot?
Yeah.
Riot
Yeah, that's
stated,
right.
we take sportsmanship and player behavior very seriously, and we fundamentally believe that pro players should not be exempt from scrutiny over their behavior, as the announcement read. Now, of course, if that was the case, he should be permanently banned forever instead of just a year. But whatever, he probably pleaded his case. Christian recently represented international esports team Dignatus at the Season 2 North American Regional Finals, placing second with his teammates. The team's owner, Mike Odell, has confirmed that he will be replaced and will not be coming back.
That's pretty big news. Dignitas is very well known in the StarCraft community.
So don't be an asshole, people. Never pays off. We got some Kickstarter news, because I'm always good on that. DreamQuest Games had the worst luck ever. They have put Alpha Colony on Kickstarter twice, and the first time it didn't get to the point where it could be funded. This time, they got close. They got crazy close. They got within fractional range close. They missed their $50,000 mark by $28. The game and Kickstarter will not give them that money. They are screwed. This is the death of Alpha Colony, basically. They said the game is now dead in the water. They may approach it later, but at an undetermined time, that will not be within a year or so. So if you were waiting for Alpha Colony, you may be waiting for a long time, or maybe forever.
A part of Kickstarter's rules is that you can't fund things yourself. But to me, if it was within $30, I think I would say, hey, get on your credit card, fund this, I'll pay you now.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I would have got a family member or anybody to do that. That's hilarious.
Nice.
On other Kickstarter news, Obsidian Entertainment's crowdfunding campaign for isometric party-based role-player game called Project Eternity has closed with $4.3 million on Kickstarter. This is record-setting, so the game's record-setting Kickstarter drive held $1.4 million itself as it closed in October and brought in another $200,000 for the developer's website. Project Eternity is due in 2004 on Steam and GOG, and it will combine the past Infinity Engine role-playing projects like Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, and Planescape Torment. Players will create their own characters, and Project Eternity will gather companions along their journey, which replete the complex, difficult choices according to Obsidian. This is good. I've always liked Obsidian games. I really like Knights of the Old Republic. It's a shame that they couldn't get the second one done as they wanted it. Half the continent got ripped out. And this is the reason that they're doing this, because they tried to get funding for Project Eternity from publishing companies, but basically got refused every time.
They've had a lot of hit and misses for a while. I know Neverwinter Nights 2 went over okay. Star Wars The Old Republic 2 went over okay. Alpha Protocol had a following because there was some really great stuff in it. And I know they also did the Dungeon Siege 3.
They get screwed because it's not their fault when they have to stop what they're doing and put the game together as is because the publishers get impatient. That's highly annoying.
And they still make pretty good games on top of that. I mean, they're not maybe AAA blockbuster titles, but
yeah,
they do all right for themselves.
They do good. I think they need to get a publisher that's patient. Ha 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 ha. There's no such thing. Things like, maybe wait a year or two for them to develop it instead of demanding it in 6 months. And that's all the news I have.
Any WoW news, Mike?
No, 5.1 hit, but I think I mentioned that last week, so... Yep. Oh, I did not mention Monks got hit with a nerf bat pretty hard. I can't beat our other healer in the healing meters because of this nerf anymore, but I can still top the meters and looking for raids, so... I'm not sure how effective the nerf is in 25-man versus 10-man raid. I just know it hurts a lot in 10-man.
Yes, I knew you were kind of upset about that.
Yeah, I had to remove a healing spell off of my bar because they made the mana cost to it so prohibitive that it's just not worth using anymore.
Something tells me this is going to be a temporary thing that they over-nerfed and they're going to unnerf what they did. Maybe not to the extent that it was, but this seems like something that there's going to be too much outcry of. What did you do to my character?
There are some pretty long posts on the forums. One of them posted by one of the top Mistweaver monks in the game, so...
And you're not going to mention the Mega Man stuff?
No,
you don't have to.
I don't really have a whole lot of information on it other than it's a fan game. There are some industry pros in on it. I don't think it has an official name other than Mega Man fan game.
Mega Man 25th Anniversary. At least that's what the title screen said.
Yeah, it combines characters from Classic and it combines it with Legends. I didn't see anything in the actual gameplay itself that was Legends-like. Don't know exactly where they're going or how they're going to justify it with the story. They're probably just doing it as a fun side project, so I imagine there won't be a whole lot in the way of story, which is fine. Mega Man is Mega Man, so
bosses are brand new. I think some of the graphics in the zones are brand new. But a lot of the enemies look familiar. A lot of Mega Man and Proto Man are back just like how they used to be.
Yeah, it looks like they used the engine from Mega Man 9 and 10.
Which is good. Nothing wrong with
Yep.
that. Retro.
I would have rather them used the Super Nintendo style 16-bit, but that's just me. I get tired of the 8-bit, you know. Every once in a while, it's nice to go back to Super Nintendo style because that was my golden age, was Super Nintendo. I loved the Super Nintendo.
But the look is more appealing too.
Yeah.
And just because that was mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and say that Capcom Unity will be hosting another Mega Man fan game called Street Fighter Cross Mega Man, which is actually a Mega Man game, but it takes place in the Street Fighter universe. I haven't actually watched the trailer yet, but I thought I might as well drop that. And so game releases! I can say that Sims 3 Monte Vista for PC and Mac, that allows you to make some really old town, kind of old Italy style towns and buildings and such. Peggle for the Android. I am surprised this was not practically a launch for the Android. Peggle is huge. Even now, Peggle is a big deal to a lot of people. We got Sonic and the All-Stars Racing Transform for the Vita, 007 Legends for Wii U, Epic Mickey 2, The Power of 2 for PC and Mac, Bioshock Ultimate Rapture Edition for the 360 and PS3 as they're getting ready for Infinite, which includes Bioshock 1 and 2, quite a few, if not of all of their DLC, including the Plasmid Pack, the Challenger Rooms Pack, a bonus museum level for Bioshock 1, Sinclair Solutions Tester, Rapture Metro, Kill 'Em Kindly, The Protector Trials, and Minerva's Den for Bioshock 2, and you're gonna get a collector sticker pack from Bioshock Infinite's World of Columbia. But the biggest release is probably Hawken, is finally coming out on the 15th, I believe it was. And that's pretty much all of the major game releases for this week. And now, for the game of the week.
Oh, the game of the week is Binding of Isaac. And I was going to do it last week, but I didn't know how to record it properly. Fortunately, I figured out how, so I will be able to record it, and it will be awesome. Binding of Isaac was developed and designed by Edmund McMillan and Florin Hims. You've probably heard of them. They used to do all kinds of stuff on Newgrounds. They also did for Meat Boy. If you haven't heard about that, then where have you been? Are you been living under a rock? Have you never been online before? Binding of Isaac is interesting. I'll just explain what I found on Steam because I can't really get much other than that it's a shooting game. When Isaac's mother started hearing the voice of God demanding a sacrifice be made to prove her faith, Isaac escapes into the basement facing droves of deranged enemies, lost brothers and sisters, his fear, and eventually his mother herself. The Binding of Isaac is a randomly generated action RPG shooter with heavy roguelike elements. That is all I can really say to explain the game. You can play the game 100 times, and you're going to have 100 different scenarios. None of the levels are ever the same. This game is crazy popular in live streaming. People like Lethal Frag, and that's one of the popular ones on Twitch, and Northern something on YouTube. I can't remember his name. Why didn't I write it down? But the game is very popular on YouTube and live stream, and we're going to be doing it this week too. I haven't beat the game, and I've played about 16 hours, although that's hilarious. Some people report that you have to play it at least 100 times before you even get a chance of, defeating Mother. And Mother's not the final enemy. You are farther on within the game to either fight the devil or some demented version of yourself in the game.
So do you level up?
No.
Really.
You always start off where you were before, was base attack and stuff, and you get different characters too. I think all the characters are Isaac. The interesting thing for me, I don't even know if the game is really happening. Maybe Isaac's locked in his room and he's doing this stuff to entertain himself. There's a lot of controversy about what's actually going on in the game or if the game is even happening. The game is morbid, to say the least.
It has a lot in common with Faster Than Light in the fact that because of its randomness and because of you never know what weapons you're going to end up with, you never know what upgrades you're going to get, you don't know what enemies you're going to be fighting, the bosses are always different. So you can have a game go really well and then go really bad really quick. I think that's what the whole roguelike really is these randomly generated setups.
Yeah, plus random stuff can happen, but you can just get a really bad run where you don't get anything you need and you just die because you got bad luck. There's even gambling in the game, and gambling was your life, where you sacrifice a piece of your life and you either get money or it gives you a special item like the blood bag or whatever it's called. But anyways, we could sit here for like 2 hours trying to explain this game, so I'm just gonna be playing it this week, and you guys can understand more from that. Most of you guys already probably know this game and probably are way better than us, so you can tell me about it in comments. That's the game of the week.
And so our topic for today is kind of controversial in itself. Japan versus the world. because, well, I'll just put it this way. In 2002, the Japanese game industry handled a good 50% or better of the global market. But between economic issues throughout the world and the growing technology and taste differences between Eastern and Western audiences, game styles and genre preferences has widened that gap to a monstrous 10% of the gaming market in 2010. They used to be practically the kings throughout the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s, and now they're in deep water.
Yeah, it's kind of collapsed.
Though that's not the
Sad.
entirety of our conversation about why this is and how this has happened and some of the things that have happened in it. It's more of a general, broad view of how different Japanese gaming society is compared to... We'll just stick with American. I know there's different tastes in Canada and South America and in Europe, of course. But all three of us are Americans, so we have to go with what we know. But yeah, there's some quotes here. Yoichi Wada stated in Financial Times on April 27th, 2009 in the Japanese gaming industry of having become a closed environment and almost xenophobic. Microsoft's chief Xbox officer, Robbie Bach, says Japanese gaming culture has been more about the fantasy of the experience, while North American and European culture has been more about the realism of the experience. And Hiroshi Kamide, analyst at KBC Securities in Tokyo, said, if you make fighting games or first-person shooters, you do well in the United States. If you do racing games, you do well in Europe. And if you make role-playing games and really weird stuff, you tend to do well in Japan. And I think between those three, that kind of explains a little bit of what's happened here.
Yes.
I just, Japan's always been the role-playing gods for me, and I've just recently seen even that start to collapse a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Final Fantasy is really just going downhill.
Well, Western development teams, I think, have taken the good bits about the Japanese RPG and adopted it into their own role-playing games. Even their non-role-playing games have those aspects.
One of the major differences, at least early on, it's not at all the case anymore, but early on the differences between American and Japanese RPGs could largely be described in pretty much this one thing. Japanese characters had this kind of voiceless, nameless thing that you became. American ones, or European ones, allowed you to create the character that you wanted to play as, which meant less outward personality in the game, but more customizability as far as like character class, gender, all sorts of these little things, even back in the days of the NES. And MMOs, of course, is a different monster, so that most of the Japanese games still put you in a role of somebody specific and the world that they live in. So it's more narrative, where the Americans are more explorative, I guess is the word.
Yeah, that's the way I'd put it.
Yeah.
And of course, the art styles is a major difference, too. The Japanese have always kind of leaned toward an anime, cartoonish, younger skewed side, so that's why so many of the protagonists are generally between the ages of 12 and 17. Whereas the American sides are usually big warrior brutes or really fit, really well-endowed female characters wearing next to nothing. So you can tell the two usually by art styles alone.
I always liked, I don't know if liked or just, I always noticed in Final Fantasy they've always got wacky hair. Crazy hair. except for Squall. He's the only one that has like a normal haircut.
And that's only because emo was so in at the time.
Yeah.
Emo, he is King Emo.
That game annoyed me because of the personality they gave him.
Yeah, whatever.
It was
so
too...
funny. Oh, well.
Yeah, I wasn't too into that whole passive, apathetic emo.
He kind of changed in the end, kind of like he was forced into becoming more open. But in the beginning, he was just like, yeah, it sucks.
Well, I mean, ask yourself though, would you rather play the apathetic emo character or the able to take on everything and is confident and even kind of smart aleck mouthy character?
Cloud.
To me, oh no. To me, the more brazen characters are the more fun ones. I don't like the whole, the world's ending. Think I'm gonna go over here and see what's going on with this person.
You know who my honestly favorite person was in Final Fantasy VIII?
Who?
Zell. Yeah, Zell was awesome.
That was the fighter guy, right? With the...
Yeah, that was the fist punching guy. With that crazy tattoo on his face.
Yeah, I did like him.
He was awesome.
I just think making the story centered around the apathetic, doesn't want to be here character, I don't know, like, it's about presentation to me. And if your main character doesn't care about your game, why should the player? You know what I mean?
It's not a personality I see too often in games, thank goodness.
Right. But when you do see it, more often than not, it's in the Japanese RPG.
I find it interesting because Squall's. I always do see that everybody considers high. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking with him. He's a kind of complex character, but kind of not at the same time. He just seems to, well, he got bullied by, I can't remember the other guy's name.
Cypher.
Cypher always bullied him and everything else, but he kind of just ignored that too. It got weird when they found out that they were all using their memories from casting the summoners.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Oh, you didn't? Yeah, I remember everything about that. It's crazy.
Well, it was one of those games that I had it saved at the very end of the game on my memory card, along with a couple of other RPGs, and I'm sure I've said this before, but my memory card wiped, and I just could never bring myself to play through all of those games again.